Hello students, this is the second part of the chapter Tribals, the Khus and the Vision of the Golden Age. In the previous video we have seen that how was the previous living style of the tribal peoples as they used to do shifting cultivation. Some were hunter gatherers, some other were the they used to do very small trades with the local markets, and many few of them were a settled agriculturist. Now here we will see that after coming British into India, what are the changes they have faced in their life. What are the new rules and regulations were implemented by the British in the tribal areas, and how it affect the life of the tribal peoples. So one by one we will see that how did colonial rule affect tribal lives. Number वन, effect on tribal chiefs. Tribal chief की power किस तरीके से ब्रिटिश के आने से कम हो गई. शिफ्टिंग एग्रीकल्चर पर क्या इफेक्ट हुआ. फॉरेस्ट लॉ ब्रिटिश ने जो बनाया था वो क्यों बनाया और इसका क्या इम्पैक्ट हुआ. प्रॉब्लम विथ ट्रेड्स. एंड देन आफ्टर tribal also have to move away from their homeland in search of a work. So the first effect was seen on the power of a tribal chief. Before the arrival of a British in many areas, these tribal chiefs were very important people. They enjoy certain amount of economic power and they have a right to administer and control their territory. मतलब एक छोटे सा एक जो ट्राइबल ग्रुप होता था उस ग्रुप का अपना एक राजा होता था और उस राजा के पास हर चीज को डिसाइड करने का राइट होता था. हाउ टू कलेक्ट द रेवेन्यू. A tribal chief means tribal peoples where they used to do the shifting cultivation, how land transfer from one people to another, and they have their own police. They used to resolve the disputes among the tribal peoples, and tribals also have a great respect for their chiefs. But under the British rule, the function and the power of a tribal chief has changed. How the function has changed? पहले क्या होता था कि ट्राइबल चीफ खुद से डिसीजन लेते थे कि ट्राइबल्स लोगों को क्या काम कैसे करना है. बट now they were instructed by the British. Whatever the rules and regulation made by the British, these tribal chiefs had to implement it in the forest region. Okay, so they have lost much of their administrative power and they were forced to follow the law made by the British officials in India. And with this, these tribal chief had also paid tribute to the British. तो जो भी ट्राइबल चीफ को बहुत सारा गिफ्ट्स और पैसे वो सब भी ब्रिटिशर को देने पड़ते थे. सो नाउ स्लोली दे हैव लॉस्ट their authority that they used to enjoy among their own people, and they also now unable to fulfill their traditional functions that they had before. So now we will see that after coming British into India, what happened with the shifting cultivators. So as you should know that British were not very comfortable with the group who moved on, who always moved from one place to another place for doing this cultivation. They wanted that tribal people should settle down at a one place and become a peasant cultivators, क्योंकि उनका मेन एम था रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन करने का. और अगर कोई भी लोग एक जगह से दूसरी जगह हमेशा मूव कर रहे हैं तो उनसे रेवेन्यू कलेक्ट नहीं किया जा सकता है कंटिन्यूअसली. सो दे डिसाइडेड दैट that these tribal people should settle down at a one place, and for this purpose they measure the land and define the rights of each individual to that land, and they also fix the revenue demands for the states. For this purpose, they divided the tribal people into two categories. One type one type of them become the landowners and other one become the tenant. So uh, mostly tenant will do the agriculture, they produce the crops, and then they will give revenue to the landowners, and then landowners will give the revenue to the British. So in this way, British want to collect the revenue from the tribal people, so they change these shifting cultivators into a settled peasant. But in most of these areas, this settled cultivation became unsuccessful, क्योंकि जिस जगह पर लैंड अच्छी नहीं है या फिर पानी की ज़्यादा फैसिलिटी नहीं है, तो वहाँ पर एक जगह रुकने से जो है फार्मर्स को कोई फ़ायदा नहीं हो सकता था. इसलिए दे इंसिस्ट on the British people that Britishers should allow them to do a shifting cultivators, especially in the area of a northeast. So after that, when British face widespread protest, so they ultimately allow them to continue with the shifting cultivation in some part of the forest. So now we will see the effect of the forest law on the tribal's life. As you know that forest is directly connected with the life of the tribals people. But when British came into India and they saw the huge wealth of the forest, they decided that now forest should be under the control of the British government. तो इसलिए forest को control करने के लिए they form a new forest law, and with this forest law the whole forest declared as a state property, and mainly some forests were classified as a reserved forest. रिजर्व्ड फॉरेस्ट का मतलब होता है कि कुछ जंगल को मीन्स ऐसे कुछ जंगल जहाँ पे ट्राइबल्स अंदर आ ही नहीं सकते हैं. अगर वहाँ पे ट्राइब्स पहले से रह रही है तो उसको भी वो जंगल छोड़ के बाहर जाना पड़ेगा. एंड व्हाट वर द अदर प्रोविजंस ऑफ दिस फॉरेस्ट लॉ, दैट फॉरेस्ट में ट्राइब्स वर नॉट अलाउडेड टू मूव फ्रीली, वो घूम नहीं सकती. दे कैन नॉट डू अ झूम कल्टिवेशन, दे कैन नॉट कलेक्ट फ्रूट्स और हंट एनिमल्स. तो आप खुद सोचिए कि इस फॉरेस्ट लॉ के बाद जो भी कुछ ट्राइब्स लोग जंगल में किया करते थे, अपने जीवन जिया करते थे, वो सब पर एक तरीके से पाबंदी लग गई. एंड मेनी ट्राइबल्स पीपल फोर्स टू मूव टू अदर एरियाज इन सर्च ऑफ अ वर्क एंड लाइवलीहुड. बट विथ दिस फॉरेस्ट लॉ ब्रिटिश ऑल्सो फेस्ड सम प्रॉब्लम्स. क्या प्रॉब्लम था वो? क्योंकि ब्रिटिश को लकड़ी कटवाने के लिए लेबर चाहिए था, और जब आप ट्राइबल्स को जंगल से बाहर निकाल देंगे तो आपको लेबर मिलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. तो एट दैट टाइम द फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट faced the problem that was unavailability of the laborers to cut the trees. Then after, colonial officials find out a solution, that they decided to establish a forest villages to ensure a regular supply of a cheap laborers. उन्होंने क्या डिसाइड किया ब्रिटिश ऑफिशियल्स ने, दैट they will allow some they will allow some tribal peoples to live in the forest. They will be given a patch of a land in the forest to do the jhum cultivation, but the condition is that they will have to provide labor to the forest department and look after the forest. Only on this condition they can live in the forest. तो उसके बाद बहुत कुछ ट्राइबल्स लोगों को जंगल में रहने के लिए अलाउ किया गया, लेकिन उसके बदले में उन्हें ब्रिटिश के लिए काम करना पड़ता था, ब्रिटिश के लिए लकड़ी काटनी पड़ती थी और जंगल की देखभाल करनी पड़ती थी. ऐसा नहीं है कि पहले जंगल में ट्राइबल्स नहीं रहते थे, जंगल में ही रहते थे वो, लेकिन ब्रिटिश के आने के बाद बहुत सारे ट्राइबल्स को जंगल से बाहर कर दिया गया था और वही जंगल में रह पा रहे थे जो ब्रिटिश के लिए काम कर पाते थे. So what are the problems created with the trade? As you know that tribal people used to do a small trade with local weavers and local traders. But during the 19th century, tribal people found that traders and moneylenders were coming in the forest more often, and they want to buy the forest product, offering cash loans and asking them to work for wages. But it took some time to understand what is happening with them and what are the consequences of it. We will see it, we will try to understand it with an example that as you know that silk was producing in our country, and it was in a great demand in the outer countries, in the European countries. As the demand of this silk has increased, East India Company officials were start encouraging to the silk growers to increase, to expand the production. For this expanding, Britishers allow the moneylenders to go into the forest to provide the cash loan to the silk growers so that they can produce the cocoon. But क्या प्रॉब्लम इसमें ये क्रिएट हुआ कि जब सिल्क ग्रोवर सिल्क को प्रोड्यूस कर लेते थे तो वो डायरेक्ट ही कैन नॉट गो डायरेक्टली टू द मार्केट्स टू सेल इट, दे हैड टू डिपेंड ऑन द ट्रेडर्स। अब वो ट्रेडर क्या करता था, सिल्क ग्रोवर से ये कोकून को खरीद लेता था और वो केवल 3 to 4 रुपीज ही प्राइस देता था पर 1000 कोकून का। 1000 कोकून खरीदने पर जो ट्रेडर है वो केवल 3 से 4 रुपए ही उस ट्राइबल पीपल को देता था। और यही जो ट्रेडर है, जब ये जो कोकून है वो एक्सपोर्टर को जाके सेल करता था दूसरे मार्केट में, तो वहां पर वो इसको 15 रुपीज में सेल करता था, मतलब 5 टाइम्स ज्यादा प्राइस पर उसको सेल करता था। तो इस तरीके से आप देखो कि ये जो मिडिल मैन है, ट्रेडर है, वो ज्यादा प्रॉफिट कमा रहा है, बट ट्राइबल पीपल को बहुत ही कम प्रॉफिट मिल रहा है। तो इस तरीके से देयर आर वेरियस फॉरेस्ट प्रोडक्ट एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स to sell all these forest product, tribal peoples were dependent on these traders, on these middlemen, and these tribal peoples were not getting much and more profit. Soon tribal groups saw that the moneylenders and the traders are their main enemies, and they given them the name the Khus. Now at last, when British had implemented forest law, means the tribal people cannot do shifting cultivation, they cannot hurt their animals, they cannot collect the grain, fruits, roots. So the traditional lifestyle has been changed, and they have no any work in the forest, and they also forced to leave the forest. So ultimately, for their survival, they had to go to other places in search of a work. So they got work in the tea plantation and the coal mining, because at that time Britishers were excavating the land and they were involved in the mining activity। क्योंकि ब्रिटिश ने इंडिया में तो कुछ भी इंडस्ट्री स्टैब्लिश नहीं करी, लेकिन ब्रिटेन में जो इंडस्ट्री स्टैब्लिश थी, फॉर दैट पर्पस दे नीड अ कोल, और इंडिया में कोल बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटी का था। तो उस समय ब्रिटिश के ही टाइम से इंडिया में कोल माइनिंग की शुरुआत हुई है। तो उस कोल माइनिंग में काम करने के लिए इन ट्राइबल्स लोगों से काम कराया गया। तो मेनी ट्राइबल्स, एंड ब्रिटिश ने टी प्लांटेशन भी इंडिया में स्टार्ट किया था। तो ट्राइबल्स गेट द वर्क इन ट्री प्लांटेशन एंड कोल माइनिंग, बट द लिविंग कंडीशन was not very good, as there was the problem of a low wages, unhuman conditions, and these peoples were not allowed to go back their home. So at last, with when Britishers put a lot of atrocities on these Indian people, these tribal people start a revolt against the British.